Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Crafty Dragonfly podcast. My name is Stephanie and you can find me on Instagram as the Crafty Dragonfly, where I post most days about what I'm currently working on or any finished makes. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by and having a quick look. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and spending a little bit of your precious time with me. In today's episode, I am quite excited to share with you a new crochet project that I have just started. And I've got some finished projects in the form of a stitchy variety, and I've got some happy post. So if you haven't done so already, grab yourselves a nice warm drink and whatever project you're working on, and we'll sit down together and have a little chat. I'm going to start with finished projects, and they are in the form of stitching. I was working on the first skate last time. I was almost at the end of it. It's if you've not watched any of my previous videos, it's a subscription from Caroline Zoob that I subscribed to back in 2019, and this is the last of the kits, the last quarterly kit, so it was the winter kit, hence why it's called the first skate. So I finished it, and I'm hoping that the sun isn't too glary today, so I'll hold it up and just hope that you can see it properly. It was a nice nice design to do. If I'm not holding it up properly and you can't see it very well, when I'm watching it back, I'll put a picture in. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And once I got going with it, there isn't actually quite that much to do on it, to be honest. And I think I've said previously, it would be a good beginner project to do. I don't know whether it's still for sale, so you'd have to have a look on Caroline's website, but I'll leave a link to that below. And but I've enjoyed it, and I'm glad I've got it finished, because it's been hanging around and it's just been on the back of my mind forever. So I'm happy I've got that done. I also showed you an embroidery I was working on last time. It was a free pattern by Diana Vinger. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's Russian, and I'll leave a link to her website below. She's also on Instagram, and I've really enjoyed doing this, and it was quite a quick make as well. And I explained last time, I think it's because you use 6 strands of floss rather than 1 or 2 strands, which is what I'm used to using. So it did come off quite quickly. So this is the finished make. And I'm hoping the sun isn't catching it too much. I'm going to leave it in this hoop. I've actually finished the back of it, which hopefully you can see there. And I've just done a simple whip stitch on the back, and I've just put a little lazy daisy stitch there, just as something nice for the back of it, to be honest. I've used wool felt. I do like wool felt. It's really nice to work with and it lasts a long time. And I've used white because the linen I've used is quite fine, and if I'd have put a darker felt on the back, I think it would have shown through. So I've left it as white felt, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. And that's going as a gift to somebody. But I do quite like putting it in a hoop actually. I think that's quite trending quite well at the moment, hoop art. So as I say, it's nice because you can finish it off on the back. You can't see all your nastiness at the back, which sometimes I do have quite a few threads and knots and things. So it obviously covers it up quite well. So that's finished. And if you follow me on Instagram, I have put up just in the last couple of days that I've finished the January subscription from Nikki Franklin. I'll leave a link as usual to her website below. And this is January, and hopefully I can hold it up okay. I'll just move it from side to side just in case it's not all showing, and I'm hoping the sun's not catching it. I've really enjoyed this, and it's got my favourite stitching, which is French knots. I think Nikki said the same, that she likes doing French knots. So it was nice because I've learnt a buttonhole stitch, I think it was called. I'd have to look at that. I'll put it on the screen if I've said that incorrectly. But Nikki had a workshop, a mini Zoom workshop last week. It was called the Stitch Clinic, and it's for subscribers that have subscribed to her kits for the year. And she's doing a stitch clinic so that if you're a bit stuck on any particular stitch, she'll show you in that workshop. So I wanted to just wait for that just to see how she did it, and I had a couple of other queries. So, and she covered everything. It was brilliant. There was lots of stitches that took part from all around the world. It was really, really lovely, and her studio it looks amazing, and I can't wait to go and see it. I hope that one day we can all get together. That would be lovely. So I'm very happy that I've finished it, because the February kit is here, and I'll show you that later. That's in the happy post. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with everything today. I'm in a happy mood. So moving on to works in progress now, and I'll start with a crochet project just in case you're all stitched out. And this is what I'm excited about to show you and to share with you. I'm sure you've all heard of her, but just in case, and you know, obviously when I watch people's podcasts, even though I've heard of designers, I still like to hear what that person's saying about it and their take on it, and what yarn they're using, and how they're finding the pattern. So I have found, in fact, I've bought a couple of this designer's books in the past, which I think I've shared with you, but I will show you quickly shortly. And this is called the Mayan Blankets. I'll pop a picture on the screen of the finished project. So the designer's name is Shelley Husband, and she has Spin Cushions blog, and she's also active on Instagram. And this is the Mayan blanket pattern. It's a free pattern, or again, you can pay for an ad-free PDF just for a small charge on her website. So, and what's drawn me to this is she ran a cal for it back in 2017, I think it was, and she put videos up of each stage of the blanket, and it's made up of squares, but quite big squares. So that's what's drawn me to it, because I think from my obsession of granny squares, I think what it is, what I like about them is it's an achievable project for you to get done in a few days, in the evenings or whenever you've got time to do it. And I like that. I like the fact that you can make something relatively quickly and then start again. And then at the end, you piece them all together. And the Mayan blanket is absolutely beautiful. And she goes into her inspiration behind it and on her blog. And it's just so, it's such a lovely read. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's really, really got my interest. And as I think I've said before to you, I am a visual learner. I'm sure a lot of us would agree with that. And I love books, don't get me wrong, and I've bought quite a lot of crochet related books in the past. And that's great, and I'll never get rid of them, and I do really like them. But I think initially I like to see somebody doing the pattern. If you can hear that goose in the background, sorry, we have some Canada geese that breed every year on the pond at the back of our house. So every now and again, if you hear a goose, I don't own one, it's just that they're at the back of the house. So I'm digressing. So this, ignore the ends because I've not weaved them in, because I've not finished this round. So this is the beginning of it, and I'm hoping that you can really see it for what it is. The design of it, it's beautiful, and it's so interesting, and I think that's what's caught my interest with it. And it's not hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it, quite frankly. So I'm following Shelley along at the moment. The yarn I'm using is WI Soft and Smooth Aran, which I showed you in my last episode. I'd bought one with a flecking that I said I was going to start a blanket, and I'd worked up a couple of samples, and I asked you which you preferred, and I think a couple of you said Alpine Stitch was nice. So, but I am really tempted now to start with that tweed Aran, but in this design, because I really, really do like it. And I think from the picture I've put on the screen, you'll probably agree. It's really, really nice. As I say, I'm on part 3. There are 7 videos altogether, and if you look, you can either find her on YouTube as Spin Cushions, or you can go to her blog and find it that way, and you can read all about her inspiration behind it. So I think it's going to be quite big, this initial square, which again I really like, because then I think the last video in the series is joining it and the border. And as I say, it's all free, or there's an ad-free pattern available which includes charts if you like working with charts, and I think it's $5.99 US. So have a look anyway and check it out. So I'm really pleased with it. And as I say, the yarn, this WI yarn, I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but it's beautiful. It's so soft, and I think that's why I'm enjoying working on it so much. And I'm really quite surprised by these higher crochet hooks as well, because I've always shied away from aluminium crochet hooks in the past, because I always thought I needed quite a big handle to hold on to because of my hands getting tired or my wrists or fingers aching. But I don't know whether it's the combination of the hook and this lovely soft yarn, but oh, it's so lovely to work with. I can't recommend both of them enough, really. So I'm really happy with that. So by the time I next upload another video, I'm hoping that I'll have one of the squares done so I can show that to you, and then I'll just work along with you in each video and show you my progress. So even though I didn't have a lot of crochet related things, I think I've gone on enough about crochet for you all today. So I'm hoping that's okay. And my next work in progress is the Language of Flowers, back to stitching again. This is another Nikki Franklin thing that I'm working along with her, and this is a personal project of Nikki's that she's just sharing on a mini workshop once a month, I think it is. And you have to register for it. You have to be a subscriber, a newsletter subscriber, and then when she's about to do the Zoom workshops, she will send you an email and with a link to her Zoom class, and then you register, and then you get to join in on the day. So I have watched 2 so far, January and February. Now, January, I think I probably shared with you in one of my episodes. I can't remember which one. So, but it was the Xeranthemum. She's doing a different flower each month. She's been inspired by the film Enola Holmes, which if you haven't watched it already on Netflix, I suggest you watch it. It's really, really good. And so she started off with Xeranthemum and the meaning behind that flower, and what she's also doing, what she's very kindly sharing with everybody. And again, on the workshop last week, there were, I don't know how many people, but lots of stitchers from around the world. And again, it was so nice to be all connected. And she's sharing with us her inspiration behind her stitching, her designs, and she loves bookbinding. She's got into that now, and so she shares all of that, and it's such a good thing to watch and be inspired by. So I've started my own little Language of Flowers booklet, and I have I used to make cards back in the day, and I have a lot of papers and lots of card making things that I've kept. So they're coming in useful now because I can go back to them and use them up. So I've started, I just started it yesterday actually, so it's not by any means finished. It's just a work in progress, as with everything I've got to share with you. So all I'm doing is I'm just finding images, printing them off, and I'm using little bits of stationery I've got, and then working along with it like that. So what I would do there now is put the piece in. So the piece that I stitched, I'll put in on the other side, and obviously with a little bit more around it. Yes, I suppose it's a bit like journaling, but you're using stitching as well, so it's quite nice to do. I'm a little bit unsure about whether to use this piece or whether to restitch it because I'm not happy with it at all. Satin stitch isn't one of my most loved stitches, and I did this satin stitch horizontally And I think with hindsight, I've seen quite a few people that have done it vertically, so from the base of the petal to the tip, and then they've just worked around the petal like that. So I'm not sure. I might just put it in, because then I can see as I go along each month that I'm hopefully improving on my stitching. So I might just leave it anyway. I've got enough to be getting on with as it is. This is February. Again, it's not finished. As with the Xeranthemum, I need to put the month in. So, but I'm going to hand write that in myself, January. So this is February, which she did. This is last week's workshop. She did the flower Forget-Me-Not. So I've just quickly put something in. I've not stuck it down yet. And I've done the design. I've transferred it onto a piece of linen I had. And I actually transferred it using carbon paper. And I find that it's quick. I've just bought some carbon paper off Amazon. I'll leave a link to it below in case you want to try that. Nikki does a different way. Nikki shows you a different way of transferring images onto linen. And I have tried that way, but I thought I'll give it a go with carbon paper and see. And it's very quick. And you can stitch over the lines of the design, so it doesn't matter. I haven't got very far with it. This is the overall image. And I've just started working the stitches. Oops. So hopefully you can see that okay. Again, it's a satin stitch. You outline it in split stitch, and then you work with 2 strands, and then you work satin stitch in 1 strand. So I was working on this last night, so I had my lamp on, my daylight lamp and magnifier, because I wouldn't have been able to see it otherwise. Those are the colours. Nikki has put on, or will put on her blog, I'm sure, what colours she's used. These are the colours I've used, because it's just what I had in my stash. Mine are 3023, that's the green. The pale lemon is 677, and I don't know what the blue is. I'll put that on screen because I've lost the little tag. So it won't take me long to stitch that up, and then I can get it in ready for next month, for March. So I'm really happy that I'm getting to do a bit of paper crafting as well. So I've got some inks, different inks. So normally in paper crafting you can ink the edges of things. The way I've done that is I've just torn the card so it gives it that rough effect there, and then just to give it a bit of interest you'd ink the edges of it, but I've stuck it down now, so I'll leave it like that. Moving on to Happy Post, I have bought some washi tape, it's called. You've probably heard of it. It comes like this, and it's an adhesive tape, but you can stick it to almost anything, and you can remove it again without it leaving a mark. It's heavily used in journaling, and any stationery lovers probably have a whole ton of washi tape. I got this from the Washi Tape Shop. That's a mouthful. And they are on Instagram, and just have a look at them. I'll leave everything below. I bought them. Oops. and I love them. They are so lovely, and that's probably, you'll have seen it. I've used it in this language of flowers. I've used it along the top there, and I've just used it to decorate the pages. So, and there's a lot of it. It's not expensive at all. They do, the Washi Tape Shop, they have free international shipping. So, they're not expensive. They're a few pounds, UK pounds for each roll, and there's a lot on the roll. So that they will last me quite a while, I think. Check those out. And then last but by no means least, I've got February's subscription to the Stitchery. So, sorry if it crinkles. And it's the Stitchery Lane subscription. If you've not watched any of my other videos, I mention it in the last one. So February's arrived on Saturday. I didn't open it like so many other people have said on Instagram, because I wanted to get January's finished, which now it's finished. So this is called Wisteria Cottage, and I want to live there. And as usual, you've got the beautiful threads. I love these colours. So love them. She provides you with all the threads. You get the linen with an outline of the design on. And the linen she uses is such good quality. It's not sheer. You can't see through that at all. It's a really nice, good quality linen to work on. And then you have the instructions and photographs. So I'm really excited to get that started. And I love wisteria, really love it. So I'm really pleased with that, and I will show you on my next video my progress on that. It probably won't be finished, so we'll see, but I'll have made a good amount of progress on it, so I can share that with you. So I think that's it. I think we've finished, and I've probably rambled on enough. I didn't have a hot drink with me today, so I'm sounding a bit raspy sometimes. And if you've heard any snoring, it's not me, obviously, because I'm talking. It's Murphy, my old dog. He's at the side of me here. Follows me about everywhere, bless him. And if you watched my last episode, I think I showed you Murphy, and I'd made him a little blanket to keep him warm, because it's pretty cold at the moment, especially overnight. So anyway, enough rambling. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've managed to stick it out and stay to the end. So thanks for watching. See you next time.